And now moving to South America, where on Tuesday, Ecuador's political crisis deepened after President Daniel Noboa's motorcade came under attack in Cañar province, where he traveled to launch new infrastructure projects. Hundreds of protesters blocked the road, throwing stones and bricks at the convoy. Officials later confirmed that the Ecuadorian leader's armored vehicle showed possible bullet damage, though the president himself was unharmed.
Do not follow the bad example set by those who tried to stop us from attending this event with you and attacked us. Such attacks are not acceptable in the new Ecuador. The law applies to everyone.
At least 5 people were detained after the attack and are facing charges of terrorism and attempted assassination, which could carry prison sentences up to 30 years.
This will not go unpunished. The police have arrested 5 people, and they will be charged with the crime of terrorism. We will not allow this. Ecuador says yes to peace, yes to work. These kinds of demonstrations, which are not peaceful, are not what we need at a time of progress and development.
Now, the attack follows nearly 3 weeks of unrest across the country, triggered by the government's decision to end diesel subsidies. Officials say the move will save more than $1 billion annually and help fund social and security programs. But demonstrators led by the Confederation of Indigenous Nationalities of Ecuador have staged strikes, marches, and roadblocks. They accuse the government of violence and repression while demanding respect for indigenous rights and ancestral lands.
We will fight to the bitter end. First for our territory, our moorlands, our water. No to mining. Yes to life. Yes to water. Yes to the moorlands. Yes to food sovereignty. Yes to life. That is why we fight. That is what we want.
At least 1 protester has been killed and more than 100 people injured in clashes with security forces, and 16 soldiers were also briefly abducted before being released. The presidency has described the demonstrations as infiltrated by terrorist groups seeking to destabilize the country. However, the Confederation of Indigenous Nationalities for Ecuador rejected the claim, saying the government is using force to silence dissent.
The same president, when he was a candidate, said that raising diesel creates hardship for Ecuadorian families, and the first thing he does is raise diesel. He promised us he wouldn't raise diesel, he raises diesel. What will happen with gas? Because that's the next demand from the IMF.
The unrest adds to mounting insecurity in Ecuador, now one of the region's most violent countries. In fact, yesterday's incident was the 2nd attack on President Noboa's convoy in just over a month. In September, protesters in the Ecuador province ambushed vehicles carrying the president and foreign diplomats with fireworks, Molotov cocktails, and stones. Now, despite declaring states of emergency in several provinces, the government has struggled to contain the unrest. Demonstrators say they'll continue the protests until subsidies are restored, while Noboa insists his reforms are not up for negotiation. The president surviving 2 convoy attacks is a stark warning, however. The greatest test, though, may be whether he can steer Ecuador through the storm of economic anger, organized crime, and political division that now surrounds his leadership.
Want the facts?
The latest developments?
News that gets straight to the point.
Well, we've got all 3 just for you. This is Firstpost Live, a brand new show, your window into what really matters.
Don't miss it.